The following is a review of a comic book and should not be looked at as an endorsement of the creator involved. If you really think that, you should have yourself checked out because you're reading into things that aren't there. Also, the quality of this video is low. If you're expecting higher standards, go check out me at Nerd@Newsstand or something else. What you see is what you get. Thank you and enjoy.
Hey guys, StarCraft here, and sorry it's been a while, just trying to still get my head back in the game of continuing forward a lot of things, and I decided there are going to be some changes. For one, you probably heard the disclaimer in this opening one. I got a couple of more of those coming up, some serious, some more goofy. Expect those when I do a review, or a spotlight. But yeah, everything that's been going on lately, notice from my other videos, of course, just been putting me in a funk, and I think I'm trying to get out of it now. And I decided to start out with something that might be a little controversial, especially among the certain circles, but I want to use it as a case of showing where I stand on things. How there are books that I will read regardless of how the creator's gotten through and everything, regardless of their actions, that I will still buy and not regret it at all and get some enjoyment out of it. This is going to be a spotlight, not a full-on review, mostly because, well, I'll get into it when I talk about it. But in this case, I'm going to be going over Jamal Igle, yes, that Jamal Igle's Kickstarter comic, Molly Danger. This, I didn't back this. I got this from the man himself when he visited a comic convention in Michigan. In fact, got a little artwork sketch in there. Now, this came with it, but when I met him then, very nice guy, very fun to talk to. And again, I just love his artwork. Now, like I said before, when I do these spotlights, I'll be just showing out here, but trust me, this is a big enough size, you all can see it. But seriously, the guy has such a great artwork. And we're introduced to Briggs. He's a pilot who becomes a big thing, big deal. Austin Briggs, and we're introduced into a big mech attack stomping around as we're dealing with what was his name? Medulla, and I might throw. Now I have the audio version of this as well, so I might throw in some of the dialogue in the middle of everything. Maybe not, depending on if I can get it. But if I can, it's very good. It is really good, the audio for all this.
Hi, my name's Molly. I'm 10 years old. I've been 10 years old for 20 whole years. Weird, huh? That's because I'm an alien from a planet called Gamma 7, and I can do lots of stuff that Earth people can't. Like outrun a motorcycle, or travel 14 miles in one leap, or bench press a school bus full of kids. But mostly, I help the Danger Action Response Team, DART for short, in the fight against the super mechs. The mechs are cyborg bad guys that hang around my hometown of Coopersville.
But yeah, we're then introduced to Molly. Just look at this artwork on here. It is really just, again, Jamal Igle, he is a master craftsman. And I'll just say this, like I've said before, a lot of these things, I will separate art from artists. Always have. And it's just like how I still let me show you what I mean. I still bought Frank Miller's Holy Terror and read it, despite the fact that it is complete and utter shit. It is. But, like the man's work, was curious about it, I have no regrets. And, for example, I've backed Cyberfrog by Eason. I've lost a lot of respect for the man as far as things he said and other stuff, but I have no regret backing it. And I've backed other people who have problems, like Doug Knapple. I have no regret and none at all. And like I said, and I will still acknowledge, good artists, great artists, might have issues with their talking points, but that's just how I am. And again, same thing just continues on with here. And Molly just, I love this. Fights, knocked around and everything. Now, the interesting thing we will later find out is that she appears to be a 10-year-old. She's not. She's technically in her 30s, actually, but we'll get to that. But then we see Biggs and his partner are just on a chopper. They're meant to keep out of the way. Let Dart, that's the organization that helps Molly out with all this, deal with everything. But then Molly just simply says, like, I need to get down here. More people will get hurt. And they're like, but it's our rules. We can't do it. But she's begging. And then Briggs gives a smirk. And then Molly goes giving a smirk as well. Make you wonder, like, okay, was those water works really legit or was it an act? But she has a smirk very much like Briggs. As well, they fly on in. Briggs, showing just how great of a pilot he is, gets her in close. And she's dropped on down and takes down the mech. Now, earlier she was saying, like, hey, you want to talk about it? So she goes, now, about that talk, as the mech then falls in the background. That's awesome. And, of course, you have, they're just, you see some inner politics going on, but I like this, how Molly sees a bunch of people and kids, tries to walk on over there, and they're like, nope, can't allow it. And, you have to leave. We basically find out, they're dealing with, everyone at Dart are trying to deal with Molly. And Molly, despite being in her 30s, still probably because of her body and everything and the mentality of a child, at least as far as we can tell. Why do I say that? Again, I'll get to that. But, yeah, and, you're having people, them just, like, they're, the commander's there, and one of the doctors there, and she's like, she called me mom again. I heard she's reaching out for a connection, and they're trying to disconnect themselves from Molly for various reasons. And again, it's one of those cases of she's still a little girl. We gotta treat her like a little girl and everything, or she's still an alien. Then she comes on in, and again, they're just giving her a hard time. Okay, I said this wasn't gonna be a review, and it won't be, but basically, Molly's just all upset, like, I wanted to say hi. And then Briggs, eventually, his partner puts in his papers. He's ready to retire. And then, his boss is chewing him out. But it turns out he's been promoted to being, to Dart. He goes on home, and we meet up with his, I believe it's his wife or girlfriend and his stepson. And yeah, he's basically all like, whatever. And, he's having a hard time adjusting everything. And yeah, he's just not liking it at all. When they do it to a tour, we finally find out a bit more about Molly's backstory. Crash landed, parents and brother died, woke up from a coma. Turned out the coma was her body adjusting, and turns out she's basically immortal with all this incredible power. And we're meeting all these different villains and everything. Then, Briggs, sees all the different people who've helped out Molly who have died in the line of duty. And, basically, he's like, that's what to scare me? No, you know the drill. Just wanted to make it clear to you. As then, basically, we find out how they look at her. They look at her, she's not a girl, she's a weapon. Sounds cold, but they have to face facts. She has the strength to rip up a bank vault. They've never been able to properly measure it, things like that. And no personal contact whatsoever. They're basically saying, like, she's not a human. You could put us all in danger. 6 weeks later, we then find out, there's another guy super fast running around. And, just look at him. He's like, running around. Molly then gets a great idea of what to do. And despite what them are, telling them not to, what do? They go with it anyway, open up the canopy, launch her. And I love the detail of her jacket. Just each panel gets more and more pulled back, showing the velocity. She then grabs a banner and uses it to, rope-a-dope. Do a clothesline him. And I love also when she's being Sorry. When she's being chewed out by the commander, it's like, what were you thinking? Mass versus velocity, mostly. Not funny. It was a little funny. And it was. And, well, yeah, basically, they're both grounded and everything. And, yeah, basically then Briggs swaps shifts with one of the other guys who handles the food, goes in, and rules be damned, he starts to have a personal connection with Molly. And one of the things she's working at is apparently a digital clone program that's completed. Again, we don't know what's going on, but then doing a little bit of manipulation, apparently a false signal goes out, and basically, turns out, is married to that woman, but Molly just did all this just so she can talk. Everything's faked, and she just said she just wants to be normal. They treat me like a China doll, and well, brings them down. He takes them to his place, and calls his son down, and Brian. Brian then sees it. I love it. He's like, it's just so perfect. And it turns out he's a fan. Molly Danger's in my house. Now in the audio,
It's nice to meet you.
well, starting to get, they get along. Molly comes back into his house and they just talk it out. Basically, like how never had friends and everything. Finds out, how his birth dad was, Brian's birth dad was a firefighter, died in the line of duty. And basically, they start to become pretty good friends. Then we end the story then with Medula and the speedy guy getting, caveman guy kind of busts them out, but then tells them, what's going on here. And he really tells them, go, father, and your father. And then all of a sudden, this shadowy figure comes up. Medula bows down before him, and then the other guy just says, who the heck are you? Turns out he's the one who gave him his powers. And, well, they walk off, and that's it. That's where this ended, and, well, Jamal tried to do a Kickstarter for another volume. Never came about, and he's been slowly pushing it out whenever he can, and I haven't kept up with any of those, but for what it was, it's not bad. The artwork is really good. The ideas are clever, creative. Not a bad story, right? In fact, if I was to compare it to some of the other Indiegogo stuff and everything, I gotta say this, guys, it's up there with some of it. Jamal is a good writer. Probably a lot better than some of the ones I've seen, read, and from the Indiegogo books that I've talked about before. And yeah, again, just clever ideas. Wish things were a lot better currently. Wish he was actually able to get the other one out there and all that. But just what it is just damn good. That's all I've got to say about that one. And yeah, just wanted to talk about it. Just mentioning how even people who are having a heart, can be assholes and everything, does not mean that you can't find the good in everything. So when I did my creator spotlights, I still talk about the good Gail Simone and others have done. And just know that. Know that no matter what, because with Jamal Igle, his Supergirl run, for example, that he did with Sterling Gates back well before New 52 and everything, Flashpoint and all that, was great. He gave him her short shorts and underneath her skirt for legit reasons even I agree with. And again, just you look at his artwork, it's always good. It's always solid. And yeah, just always very well done. And if you ever just look at it that way, if you ever just go up and talk to the person, ignore politics, don't bring up anything like that. A lot of these people can be good people to talk to. That's how I always looked at it as. Just go in and have a good conversation with them. Find a certain topic. Don't be antagonistic, and you can get along with some of these people. Yes, there are others who are like, oh, you're associated with so-and-so, huh? Get GTFO. That's going to happen. And in those cases, then you're like, okay, sorry. and just leave it there. Don't be, fuck you too, and all that, unless they really get into it. But that's usually where I am. That's why, unless these people make it personal, I just choose not to. Because again, you let it get personal, you will miss out on some good stuff. Again, like this. I heard this is always, people are always mocking about it, but like, or there's his own delays. True enough, can't argue that. But for what is out and everything, and again, if I'm able to have you guys hear some of the audio, you'd be able to see it too. It's just, what is out, it is just good all around. That's really all I have to say about all that. So, yeah, not much else to say. I got another review and coming up, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But until then, I'm trying to get back on a good schedule again, like I said. So, nothing much else to say. I hope you guys liked the disclaimer, whichever one I put out. And again, more coming. So, yep, nothing much else. Catch you all later.